Hello, welcome to today's video lesson on integer operations. Let's put today's date down. Today is August the 25th, so we'll have 8, 25, 16. Alright, integer operations. First we need to talk about what an integer is. So underline this. An integer is a positive or negative whole number. So if we have a number line and we put 0 down, integers go both directions. So an integer could be a positive 4 or negative 12. These are both integers. They're positive and negative whole numbers. Alright, so we're going to look at the integer operations though, and we have two, addition and subtraction. So let's look at addition first because we have a couple of different scenarios. So for addition, it says if I have the same signs, see my signs were the same, I'm going to add the numbers and keep the sign. So that looks like negative 3 plus negative 4. I'm going to add, so 3 plus 4 is 7. And then my signs were negative, so I make them negative. For the next problem, it says I have 5 plus negative 9. Well, for when I have different signs, so if I'm given different signs, I need to subtract the value and keep the sign of the larger number. So what this looks like is I'm going to take and I'm going to perform 9 minus 5 is 4. And which number is, how do I know which sign to use? Got to keep the sign of the larger number. 9 is bigger than 5, so it's negative 4. Alright, and then for subtraction, my goal is to use my addition rules. Okay? My goal is to get back to the addition rules. In order to do that, I'm going to add the opposite of the second number, and I'm going to follow the correct addition rule. So for the first example in here, I've got 6 minus 12. So I've got to add, I'll go off to the side and rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite it as 6 plus the opposite of 12 is negative 12. Well, now I'm going to go look at my sign rules. I've got different signs. So I'm going to subtract them. 12 minus 6 is 6. The 12 is larger, so I'm going to use the negative. Let's go look at the next one real quick. 5 minus negative 7. Well, I'm going to rewrite this as 5 plus the opposite of 7 is 7. Now I just have straight addition. 5 plus 7 is 12. And we can add a note that this rule is affectionately known as keep, change, change. So we can add that right here. Keep, change, change. We keep the first sign, we keep the first number, change the addition symbol, change the sign of the second number. Let's look at some examples. Alright, in example A, it says to simplify 5 plus negative 7. Well, I've got different signs, so I want to subtract 5 and 7. So I'm going to end up doing 7 minus 5, which is 2, and the 7 was bigger, so I'm going to make it negative 2. Different signs, subtract, bigger, negative sign. Let's go ahead and look at letter C. I have negative 12 minus 8. Well, this is subtraction, so I need to add the opposite. So I'm going to make it negative 12 plus the opposite of 8 is negative 8. So we had subtraction, so we keep change changed. Keep, change the sign. Okay, now I've got negative 12 plus negative 8, so these are the same signs, so I'm going to add them. Twelve plus 8 is 20, and my original sign was negative, so I have negative 20. Let's look at one more subtraction problem for safe measures. I've got negative 5 minus negative 3. Again, I'm going to keep change. So that is negative 5 plus the opposite of 3. Different signs. So I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to have 5 minus 3, which is 2. And then the negative 5 is bigger, so I'm going to have negative 2. One more thing I want to look at is a couple of problems where we have to add consecutive negative numbers. Now, the rules don't really change. We just really need to make sure we work left to right. So first, let's look at 3 minus 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add negative 9. So now I have different signs, so I can subtract these, which is 9 minus 3, which is 6. But since the 9's larger, it's negative 6 plus negative 2. Now I've got the same sign, so I can add these together. Same sign. Negative 6 plus negative 2 is 8, and my sign was negative, so it's negative 8. Let's look at one more problem. Negative 9 minus negative 3. We're going to look at letter G. Negative 9 minus negative 3. So I have to add the opposite of the second number. So negative 9 plus 3 is the same as 9 minus 3. And keep the sign of the larger number, so we have 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. And the negative was larger, so I keep that. Minus negative 8. So again, I add the opposite. For subtraction, add the opposite. And now I have to do 8 minus 6, which is 2. And the 8's larger, so it stays 2. What I need you guys to do now is work on B, F, and H, and check with the neighbor.